Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to do a page in the Posh coloring book inspired by nature by Marjolaine Baston. And I picked this page here. Let's try to get it in the right area of the camera. So it's seashells in a basket and kind of out, I guess, in the sand. It kind of looks like sand, but who knows what the original part was. I'm going to start with this little shell here, and then if I can, I'll get that one done too, so we can get the, I don't want to draw these lines in until I get those two done. I might get that one done too, so we can do this little guy over here. This is going to take a few parts, so buckle up. It's going to be a while. This page is what I'm working on. It's very light. Colored, I think this one is kind of tan. Each one of these is a different color, like this one's blue. That's one I've done already. That's a darker blue. This is like a pink color. This one is kind of a green. So each one of them has a different color in it, and this one's kind of the lightest shaded ones we have, but we're going to go for it. Just looked interesting to me. The little starfishes right up my alley. So what I'm going to do is lower the camera so you can actually see the line work that I'm going to be working in down here. So hold on. Okay, that's about as close as I can get seeing both of them at one time. So we're going to work on this one first and put in the shading in this here. Pulled out some pencils. I've got a bunch on my desk. Pulling out pencils to me is just like dumping a whole bunch of colors down and figuring out what we can work with. So in this area here, it's quite dark, and I brought out Cool Gray 6. And I'm going to use that for this shading in here. Maybe a little of the shading out here in certain areas that need to be a little darker. Now, if you notice my side, it's a very odd outline of the shell. But what they do is kind of just take it so you get the highlighted areas in some of these places and the low lights. So we know this is our dark area. And we're just going to go ahead and make sure we get that dark. Trace over the line if you want. Then you won't see that other color. It's mostly really dark in these kind of areas here, then goes out lighter. So we want to make it dark as we can get it. We might add in some black, but I'm going to start off with this color. Under here is going to be a shadow, so we're going to trace over that line too. Shadow that comes down probably starts here from the shell itself. I'm going to erase that little line there I made. We want it down a little further than that, and we're just going to color that in kind of with the same color, but being a little lighter on that. This page is going to have lots of layers of colors on it, so that's another reason we're taking our time on it. There's going to have to be green added into that. And then there's a little bit of a shadow back on this side with some kind of fluffiness to it. I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to leave that fluffy. Okay. Now, coming up here, I'm going to put in the shadow line there. Something like that. So we're getting our foundation done. I want this a little darker, so I'm just using the sharper point of the pencil and making that even darker in there. Okay, so that's what we've got so far compared to that one. We've got our depth in here, got a little bit of coloring coming out and some shadowing going on here. There is this little bump here that we have to, I assume, put in. It's not quite there, and then another little round thing. This is the fuzzy thing I was talking about. And then we have some round blobs, which I'm not going to worry about until I get to the erasing part. So this one comes down a little lower than that line is. And that comes up. And then this is shadowed here. There. That one, bumpity, 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 bumpity. And there's a little bit of a shadow here. This line is a highlight. Okay, then this bumpity part up here. Just going to outline that part. And it kind of has like some X's. So we're going to do the X part. And a little bump here. And then a shadow down in here. Okay. Now we're going to bring in an ivory. So we're going to go, don't know what color was on the tip of that, probably green. We're going to go around in the shadowed areas and bring the ivory out. Okay, there we go on that. Going to bring in a Derwent drawing pencil. And that's the name of it. CROG green. Seemed to be a good fit. It's going over the ivory, so it'll be a little lighter. And I'm using a light touch. Going over the grays. Okay, so far, boom. And let's see, what are we going to put in next? a little bit of a brownish color. This is going to be a yellow ochre, light yellow ochre. We're just going to kind of go around and add a little bit of that in. It'll brighten up some areas. A little lighter tip on that one, so we want to make it lighter. Okay, next color we're going to bring in is going to be an interesting color. We're going to start with the pinks. We have this pink, deep, well, it's not really pink, it's kind of a deeper red color that comes down here and a little bit in this area here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a little bit of dark flesh, which is going to give us the pinker tone to this color that I'm going to put in next. And it is all going over the ivory, so it's not going to be showing up as much pink that normally would if you put it just down on the paper. Okay, in this area here, this is going to be a little darker, so I need to go back and get my gray. It comes down a little more, so we're just going to go out a little bit with that. Bring a little of that down a little further here. Okay, next color that we're bringing in, I have to keep all these separate, don't think I brought that one in yet, is the Caput Mortuum. It's going to darken our pink here. Flatter side to that so I don't get lines in it. Okay, now we're going to get a darker color here. This one is a Derwent Artist Pencil, and it's Rioja. And we're going to use that in here too. Okay, then we're going to put a brown on it. Gotta find a brown. What brown? This is a Van Dyck Brown. Just going to darken that up a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with the ivory, wherever that might be. Okay, then we're going to add a little white. White. Gotta find it. I thought it was out already. Little Holbein white. Try to make that point just a little bit sharper there. We want to make sure these are white here, coming up. Our little dot we've got going here. I'm going to add some of that in here. We don't really want to see that line. Going to pull it across. Okay, we're going to bring in the brush tip Faber-Castell Pit Artist Pen. We're going to add just a little in here. Make sure we have our little lines. You gotta remember this is a shell. It's gonna be a little lumpy. So I'm adding in some dots here too. Okay, that'll dry a little lighter than it looks right now. Gonna add a little dark indigo in here, just along that lip there. Then I'm going to put some black in, if I can find my black pencil. Well, it's not in the case, so it's got to be out here somewhere. Okay, black. Go over that blue a little. Bring a little more color into the dark area here. Just putting an edge on that. Then we're going to take our eraser and we're going to add a few little dots and kind of texture in there. Okay, rub it in just to get everything smushed around. Bring that color out because we're going to have a little sand going around here and we want some of that color to come out on this side. This side to be clean, so if anything's smushed out, it's fine. We're going to darken this here. be our dark shadow. Shadow out here. Okay. So that's what we got so far. One shell, their shell, my shell. And I think we'll do the dude up here. See how far we can get on that. I'm not going to put any of the background in until I get the main components done also. We start with the starfish. I think the starfish is going to be fun. I want to do that. Dark Naples here. Now these are the highlights, so we want to use those. We're just going to color on this side of them. And remember to leave it light, so you have a highlight coming down on both sides of this. Okay, we're going to go in with the ivory. You can go over that area now with that. Okay, if you look at this guy over here, he's got a lot of texture on here. I'm going to do that with the eraser. So all I'm worried about now is putting in shadows. So what do we got here? Green gold. Brown ochre. darker color. We're going to go in with the Van Dyck-Brown. We'll also add a little green into this thing after we get a little browner here. Remember, we are going to be using the eraser here. So if you get strikes or stripe lines that you can't blend out, don't worry about it, because we'll be tapping the eraser in here and you won't see them as much. And then this little bit up here. Okay, we're going to bring in that. We need a lighter brown umber. Okay. Gonna take our white pen, so Holbein white, and we're just gonna try to connect those in the center here just a little better. It's our highlights. Okay. Now we have a lot of different colors down, and we're just gonna dot 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 with our eraser here. As soon as I get it out a little bit. Okay. Take your time and just put in a lot of little dots. Clean your eraser off every now and then so you're just not picking up color and putting it someplace else. To get the a new little eraser part for this. It does take a lot of the color off, but it started out really small, so I need a new one. They just nip into these little plastic things. Slide a new one in, and in it goes. Okay, start again. Now, if you want to add in more shading, this has got a little bit more shading than mine. You just go in with another pencil. You can go over that, darken that area up a little bit. I'm going to bring in some of that gray in here. There's a shadow that comes out this way. One that comes out down here. One over here. There are rocks or something down here that we can add in with the eraser too. We want to make that a little more bumpy. We just go back in with the eraser. Add it in there. Excuse me. I think that looks pretty good, and we're going to do the same thing as just rub it and push out any colors we can. Make sure they're all blended. And there, we've got two of the pieces, the starfish and the shell, and there they are over here. I put a little shading around them, but the rest of that's sand. And I'm going to check and see how long this has been. Okay, if you want to add another little touch to this, I'm going to put in the pit pen brush tip. Take out those gray lines that are there. Add a few more little dots if you'd like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and stop it here. When we come back, we'll do the other shell and these little critters down here. Start down here, and then we'll work our way up. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye now.